Welcome to the front row. I'm your host, Brad Rowe, and this is a space where unfiltered stories of the human condition get told. Pull up a chair. All right, guys, I want to welcome you to another episode of the front row, and this is one that pretty much the only reason why I flew back to New Hampshire this week was to get Dillo on the podcast. Dillo and I have met in 2024, so it's been a little over 2 years now since we met. I'll let him tell the story, but when I came back to New Hampshire for my van life trip, Dillo was the manager at the local gym in town that I ended up joining, and we created a friendship from there. And Dillo has a pretty remarkable story and still carries a lot of pain from his past. And he's a man with a huge heart, and he is someone that when I first met him, God spoke over to me that he is to make an impact in the kingdom. And so he's someone that I've poured into a lot because I know how his story that you guys are going to hear can help make an impact in other people's lives. So Dillo, thank you very much for joining, brother.
Thank you for having me, man. It means a lot to me. I knew who Brad was from being a local kid who was a professional bodybuilder, and reached out to him on Instagram a bunch. He would like put pictures up, and I was like always commented, and because I called him Game Time because he was always ready, and I was impressed by that. And I knew how much it takes to put into bodybuilding because I tried and I just couldn't. I just couldn't do it, man. I thought I could outwork a lot of people, and I couldn't do that. I wasn't able to be like a professional bodybuilder, and like any form of like competitive thing. I was like, wouldn't happen. But I tried.
Oh, you tried. You have an amazing physique. You looked amazing. You were a bodybuilder. Just because you weren't on stage or a professional does not mean you weren't a bodybuilder.
I'm right. I am a bodybuilder.
Yeah.
I am. That's one thing God gave me the strength to do. I believe that.
Yeah. So let's go to what gets you into it. You know, let's go back to childhood where it all began.
Yeah. So I had a good childhood. I'm like, I can't complain about. I complained a lot about my childhood, but I can't really complain about it because I grew up good. I never needed anything. If I wanted it, I got it. You know, which in sense, some good, some bad, but my parents were good. My grandmother was a special part of my life. You know, I got a sister who was 7 years younger than me, so we weren't close. But I grew up good. I grew up in an Italian Catholic house. You know, I went to a Catholic school until I got thrown out of it because I hated it. But you know, that's where, like, as I look back on this shit, I'm like, wow, so many things. If I could change, I'd go back. But like, you know, it got me to where I am now, and that's not good, I guess. But like, I grew up good, and I you know, fell in love with a high school sweetheart. We ended up getting married because I wanted my grandmothers to see me get married. All my buddies were getting engaged, married at the time. So like, I was like, hey, this is what everybody's doing. Let's do it. I did love her, but like,
how old were you when you guys got married?
Oh man, too many drugs. I think I was like 25. I think.
Oh, okay. All right.
So I was young.
That's not really young.
Well,
I grew up in New England. It was like you figure you're married with at least your first kid by 25. That's just that's how it is.
Right. Yeah. I think I was 25. I might have been 23. I don't know.
Yeah.
But, and she was awesome. But, like, I didn't want to, like, be married.
Yeah.
I just, I did, but I didn't. And then, you know, I was hanging out with my boys, and that feeling. All I did was want to lift. I was like at the gym, and I was like, "We'll have a party." I didn't drink. I'm like, I don't. I'm not going. Like, I want. I gotta eat my meals. I want to lift. I was skinny when I played baseball.
Yeah. Let's back up a little bit. Let's talk the baseball story, which is what got you into lifting. So
I played baseball, and I could hold my own in that sport, and then I got hurt, and then
you got hurt when?
When I was like,
Yeah, but what league were you in?
it was like a minor league baseball,
Yeah.
and I got hurt.
You're AAA or AA?
Double A.
AA.
And I got hurt, and I was like, I learned that you're only a number. Like, they didn't care. Like, all right, get healthy, go home. So I was in Lawrence. I'm like, I'm back here. Like, what the fuck? I'm back in Lawrence, Mass.
So let's back up even a little more, Dillo. You're skipping over a good part of the story of like the baseball dream and what you gave up and everything like that.
With baseball, all I wanted to do was play baseball. I didn't like other. I liked other sports. I played basketball till I was good at it as a freshman, and then everybody grew and I didn't. And I came back in sophomore year, and I was like, holy shit, like, everybody's growing. I'm not growing. I'm like, I'm not playing basketball anymore. And like, that was sophomore year, like, that was it. And I just played baseball and like play track. I'm like, I don't run track. Fuck that. I'm like, I'm not doing anything. I'm playing baseball. I stuck with baseball. And I loved baseball. Like, I ate, slept, dreamt it. When that all went to shit, it was
like, you get there though. Tell them the story about you getting picked up and going against what your dad wanted.
Yeah, like, my dad was like, focus on college, and I'm like, I hate school. I didn't even go to high school. Like, I basically barely passed. Like, I'm like, you want me to go to college where they don't care if you go to school? I'm like, I'm not gonna survive in that life at all. I'm gonna fail I'm gonna fail out. I'm like, not gonna do it. I'm like, it's not happening. And I'm like, I got a chance to go for my Legion coach was a baseball guy, a scout for a few teams. He's like, well, I can get your tryout, and but like, your dad's gonna be real pissed, and he was like, I don't want to do that. And I'm like, I don't want to go to school. I don't. I'm not gonna. It's like, I don't want to do that. And I did, and I went away for a weekend. I got back, and when I got home, there was no cell phones at the time. I got home, and my father was like, you got a call. I go, oh yeah, who called? He's like, well, guy from Texas Rangers. I'm like, oh, like, I was supposed to get that call, man. Oh shit. Oh, what did they want? He's like, you know what they wanted? I'm like, and like, that was a bad decision, because like, my father was like pissed, but like, I didn't care. I'm like, I didn't care. I'm like, I want to go get this. And then, lo and behold, like, right away, I get hurt, and like, I told you so. Like, shit. Like, and I got hurt skateboarding to boot.
Oh, wasn't he playing baseball?
We didn't even play the baseball. So anyway, I'm like, fuck. All right. Let's just get healthy. And maybe, and I hurt my shoulder. And whatever I had, I couldn't get back. I just could. And like, go to the gym, start lifting weights. Okay. I'm like, I can do that. I wasn't real big on it, but I'm like, I can do that. Started lifting, like, started like looking around, like who's working out, who's really working out, and who was like playing the game. I learned who was really training and who wasn't. Then I started getting interested in that side of it and realized, holy shit, this is like some people in here like want it. And I was in that part of the group, like I wanted it. And I was still natural at the time. I got as big as 200 pounds. And then, somebody said, hey, you looking good, dude. You put on some size. I'm like, yeah. I went into high school, 5'6", 160. I graduated 5'6", 160. So I'm like, at any point in my life, I was big, like tall. I'm like, all right, well, I'm going to get big then. So I wanted to get big. So it was, somebody's like, hey, take 100. There's a bottle of, it was D-ball at the time. Take 2 a day and then go to 3 a day. And then let me know what happens when you're done. Like, hey, I did. I put on 25 pounds of like, not muscle, but like I put on 25 pounds. Like now I'm like, whew. Now I'm like, now I'm feeling big, not tall, but I'm big, and I liked it. I sucked it up as it was a drug, and I knew like, wow, it was insane. But along with that came the introduction. So like the first time I did perks, I was like, it was a weekend hobby that turned into like a shit show 22 years later. I did them on the weekends. The first group of the buddies, they didn't do it, but one of my best friends did it. And, I would get a few from him, and I'd only get for like 4 or 5 for the weekend. And like, it was good, and then, now I'm like succeeding in like lifting. I'm growing, I'm training, I'm lifting, like I'm getting stronger, I'm training, I'm trying, like, like I was killing myself, and I'm like, wow, I'm getting like banged up, like fuck.
Now did the drugs first start, the perks, like when you were dealing with a shoulder injury, or just bodybuilding?
No, just do like I was doing for like fun, like for fun. I didn't drink, and I drank a few times, like, but I wasn't like I wasn't big on alcohol. My father was a hard drinker, an alcoholic, and like I just saw what it did to my mother, and I didn't want to do that. I just didn't want to go down that path, and now that I know a lot about it, and my family, all in my father's genes. My sister was an addict, and I'm a drug addict, or a recovering drug addict.
So where are you in your marriage at this point?
You guys are together. Yeah, Dad. That was like when I was first married. We were together when I was doing the perks on the weekend and stuff. And then but I wasn't married for like long. I left the house, the dog. I'm out of here. Like,
how old were you that?
I don't know, 26, maybe 27 at the time.
Probably a couple of years.
Yeah, it was like, yeah, it wasn't. I broke her heart. Totally broke her heart.
Did you have kids with her?
No.
This is the previous marriage.
Yeah. No. Had no kids with her. Didn't really want kids. But lo and behold, so like that all broke. I got divorced with her, and she hated me. My mother hated my parents were like depressed. My mother was so sad because she loved my mother. My mother loves her. Still to this day, she still talks to my mother. And my sister was heartbroken, because my sister loved her. And I understand that now. I didn't then.
Yeah. Now, what were you doing career-wise at this point?
Well, career-wise, I was working actually at Watch Regulator. Because after I got hurt and everything, I had nothing to fall back on. So my mother got me a job with her company, and it was like 4 I had to be in by like 4 a.m. And as long as I got the work done by 8 a.m., they didn't care. I was like, cool. Like, perfect. Go in like 2 a.m., get out like 8 a.m., go to my mother's house, have breakfast, and then I'm at the gym.
Yeah.
Like, all right. So I got my meals packed. I'm at the gym. I work out, then go tanning, then eat a couple more meals, then go back and train again, and then go home, spend some time with my wife, and go to sleep, and get up, and do the same shit, different day. And that went, I was happy, but wasn't happy. I was comfortable.
Right.
I got comfortable. And but like the drug use was like, I noticed now it's like run from like weekends to during the week once to like beginning. Like I knew when I started doing them, it made me feel like I had an S on my chest. So I'm like, ooh, this will go good. And I'm like, I liked it. And that was only Percocet 5s. And, little did I know that, a life that of drugs was to consume me. I wish it didn't happen, but it did. And I went from 5s to, living my life every day and meeting another woman who I ended up having kids with.
How many kids do you have?
3 with her. Her name's Rosemary, but everyone calls her D. And I had 3 kids with her, and 2 boys at first, and then I got the man surgery, which like with my luck didn't work.
Yeah.
And I went a few years. I was like, okay. And then one time I got home from I was touring. I got a job touring actually at the time with
Up into that.
So in the midst of like working in Watts and doing this and doing that, I ended up moving to Chelmsford. Well, I lived with her in an apartment in Westford, and then we bought a house in Chelmsford, and I liked it. It was like like off a lake, and it was a nice house. It was a little house, but it was nice. It was only me, her, and my stepson. Her son, Johnny, which was like, I was good with that. And he was like my buddy. He was like my best friend. I played video games. I was like a little kid. So we hung out all the time. And it was good. It was good, and I understand what I did. I didn't understand fully what I did, but I was happy, I was like, in the meantime, along the way, like I got different jobs here and there. I worked at UPS. I worked for Conway Office Products. I was a suit and tie guy for like a few years, like 7 years, and then had the chance to go out with a band. And I always loved music. Know them like my idols, like they were the guys I looked up to, not for the partying reason, but like I love music. I love music.
Let's dive into that story a little bit. How you helping Mickey and
yeah, so like being a gym guy, I was at Gold Gym in Chelmsford, and Mickey Wood, the famous boxer, had a boxing ring upstairs, and he was training fighters. And he had his wars with Gotti and all that, and I knew who he was, and I just every day I'd see him in there, and I was like, "Hey, what's up, champ?" I called him champ because he was, and he earned it, and I'm like, all I say is, "What's up, champ?" And it would be a nod. I'd go do my thing, he'd go do his. And one time we started having a conversation, and which led to him being a really, really, really fucking close friend. Which, because of my addiction, I fucked that up. But we were tight, and I did everything with him. I was getting tight. I went everywhere with signings, Arturo's funeral, like all when they did the fighter, I was in all that shit.
his brother was an addict, right?
Yeah. Dickie was an addict, and but I never thought I was like that. I never thought I was an addict, and why I don't know, but maybe because I wasn't doing heroin.
You just have a different perception of like what we're doing. You're like, I'm still showing up, I'm still providing, so I'm not an addict. I got to
functional. I'm not an addict, so like, do you shit like I got a prescription for that. It's like, but my doctor was like my drug dealer.
Right. Well, that was at a time when we were pushing it. Like I can't remember what that movie is, but like we were talking about how when Perks first came out, like they would hire all these. Yeah, they hire all these hot young chicks, be like, "Hey, push,
and that's and they pushed, and I learned that Percocets came in fives with no aspirin, then 10 with no aspirin, then 15s with no aspirin, then wow, the whole holy grail, blueberries. Well, I called them blueberries. They were 30s, and I'm like, this is unbelievable. I was getting 120 a month. And like, normal people would be like, well, I have a month's worth, and they're gone in 10 days. Maybe I have an issue. But not me. I was, who knows who can get these? And next thing you know, I start dealing.
That was just still when you were hanging with me.
Yep. He knew nothing of that. He knew nothing what I was doing, and he didn't know, so it was good, I'm like, yeah, I'm with Mickey right now. I'll call you later. It was like that. And then, like that one, that one for years, me and Mickey were really close. And to this day, I haven't reached out more for embarrassment reason that, I'm sorry that ever happened. But we became close. Like I some of the best times of my life I had with him. I in the band I got through because of him. The Dropkick came out with the Warriors Code. It was about Mickey.
Yeah. Dropkick Murphys, if you guys are
Yeah.
kind of a little bit of a popular
Yeah.
heavy metal punk rock band.
Punk band, yeah. And I was going to their shows anyway because I was a fan, and I was talking to Kenny. I talked to, hey, I know Mickey. And I'm like, like, he's like, can you get me in touch with him? Yeah. All right. I called him up right on the phone. I said, you want to come listen to a song? And he's like, who are the Dropkick Murphys? He was in the 60s and 70s music.
Right.
Didn't know the Dropkick Murphys. They wrote a fucking great tune about you, man. Like, it's like best song on the album. And it was like, he's like, all right. And we went down and they welcomed us, like, the clubhouse, and it was like, I was like living a dream. It was like fucking awesome. And then that was because of Mickey, and not who I was. And like, I ate that shit up. And Kenny was like, hey, want to work, come see how you doing? We're doing a tour. You want to, can you take some like off of work? And I'm like, yeah, maybe. I asked my boss if I could take a leave of absence. And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, okay. And then when we went out, he's like, you want to do this for a job? I'm like, you serious? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, yeah. Like, and I had money coming in because I was dealing. So I'm like, yeah, okay. Then he's like, what do you make a year? I'm like, it's like 40 grand in a car. He's like, I can do better. We'll get you a car. I'm like, I can get my own car. Like, all right. So like, and like, I had a company car at Conway, but like, I drove when I got back from tour. That's when my wife at the time, Dee, was like, I feel pregnant. I'm like, well, I'm going with my 2 kids. Like, I could take them and go. And she's like, yeah, fuck you. I didn't cheat on you. I'm like, well, I got snipped. I'm like, how did you get pregnant? She goes, well, maybe it didn't work. I'm like, I don't know. Like, I've been a lot in you. Like, come on, man. Like, it would have happened by now. She's like, you don't know that. So we went to the hospital. Like, it's yours. I'm like, fuck. I'm like, okay. So like, the first one, I was kind of shocked, and which ended up being Nicholas, my son. The second one was Logan, and she's like, I'm pregnant again. I'm like, and I was cool with that. She's like, you want to name him? You can name him. Yeah. Okay. She picked Nicholas Daniel because of my gave him my father's middle name. And I was like, oh, I want to call him like Logan full name. And she's like, are you serious? I'm like, but she like Logan got no. She liked it. She's like, I like that. I'm like, and no one was called Logan at the time. So I'm like, what a cool name. She's like, all right. So I named him Logan. And when I heard she was pregnant again, I'm like, whoa, we already got 3. What's another one? You know what I mean? Like, I was cool with it. And I found out that was going to be a girl. And I was like, that was like really cool. I was like, I ate that up. And I wasn't there for the experience. Like, I missed the birth totally. Logan, I was there late, but I was there. Anna, I was there through the whole thing. I remember it was funny because she's like, oh, my water broke. I'm like, hold on. And I ran up from the car. It's like a wicked nice Cadillac. And I hold on. I threw a sheet down in the car because I'm like, I getting that shit all over my seat. She's like, you kidding me? And she's flipping out. I'm like, hold on. I'm like, all right. We had a bag packed, and I'm like, all right. And then like I saw the whole thing, like so fucking beautiful. Like watching the birth, like and that I remember this day is like it was just like looking at my daughter was like in that thing, and then when she opened her eyes, the first person she saw was me. Not even my wife yet. And like, cause I was in that, whatever that fucking holder thing they have. And I was like, leaning over. I'm like, oh my God. Like, I had tears in my eyes. And I was like, she's like, you want to cut the cord? I'm like, oh my God. Okay, got the cord. I was like, she was so beautiful. I'm like, and, it was a good time. And, it's like, and that was a special time for me. But unfortunately, you know, the drug addiction took over my life, and like the more I look back at it now, I see why she, I see why I did what I did. It was totally selfish. I was a selfish individual. Which sucks to say when you had kids relying on you and a girl that trusted you, and it's like it hurts. The guy I let my family down. It sucks, and it's a pain that I feel tremendous every day. But like like the drug addiction took over my life. It was always about a score. And me and D got divorced. We were together like 10 years, I think. Since the stroke, my head's fucking been like between the drugs and my stroke and everything, my brain's mush. But we were together for like 10 years. We were married for like 5.
What was it like
more.
What was it like to be on tour and still trying to be a father and a husband? How much were you on tour? How much were you actually around?
Oof. We were on tour, not a good amount. It was a good amount, but I realized like when I was on tour with the Dropkicks, I would have other avenues open up. Like, hey, like I became friends with a lot of the bands that we were playing with. And I looked up to these guys. I'm like, I love you guys. Like, you guys are like, I'm a fan. And like, hey, you want to go on tour with? I'm like, yeah, I'm in. So like, I got used to like living out of the suitcase.
Roadie.
Yeah, I loved that life, and I loved that life. And to say I loved it more than my kids, no, but like it didn't show it because I left to do that than be a dad, and I did it. I blame the addiction part because like I didn't want to be home. I didn't like being home because when I was home, I didn't see the kids, and I had my days I did see them, but like I would have a chance to make. We were always like didn't have a lot of money, but like we always got by, and like there were times where like I'd be I was like we were separated, then divorced. Like dad's coming to get you, okay, and then I'd have the chance to go make a deal, and then I'd like, hey, tell Logan I'm gonna pick him up tomorrow, and then tomorrow would never come. And that happened a lot more than I wished it did. Very embarrassing. But like just consumed my life. And when I got home, it was like, I just didn't go back to being a dad. I stopped doing that.
Yeah. I'm sure being on the road, being with, all these bands, and it's a party scene and there's drugs everywhere, it just kind of just kept fueling what you were doing.
Yeah.
Opening up more avenues to sell, opening up more avenues to party.
Yeah. And it's like, and I wasn't like a party guy, but like, it was like, and Kenny's been like in AA for like, I'd find meetings for him when we were on the road. He was solid in the AA. Al was solid in the AA too, but a few of the other guys weren't. Then, I was with the other guys, and I actually enabled them more than I thought I did. And then that fucking came to a crashing halt due to an psycho ex-girlfriend posting, oh yeah, you guys on the road, and she put a thing on Instagram or whatever the fuck it was when it came out. Yeah, you guys are doing perks, and you hired a drug dealer to be with it. Kenny was like, what? Ken, like, the management was like, what the fuck? And I got called in. Kenny was like, what the fuck? And I'm like, that's bullshit, man. Like, she's making that up. And I was lying right to his face, because I knew what I was doing. And like, and the other guys were covered for me, but, and then that one, like, I put that fire out. He's like, and we kind of like brushed over it, but it still happened. And I was like, fuck. And like, and and me being the addict, like that drama, when like I go back, I hook up with her again, and like just chaos, man. My fucking life was chaos. Like, I had my kids around her, and like I was a good dad, and then I did some dumb shit. What I can remember was my kids, we had a sleepover, and I was renting a loft upstairs in somebody's apartment. It was like a nice setup, but not made for kids, and had my daughter sleeping, put my daughter in bed, my son in bed. My son, oldest, never wanted to come. He was like, just, I can't force him. Okay. But my daughter was like, daddy's girl. And she actually saw me starting a couple 30s. And I didn't know that. And then I got a phone call from my ex saying the kids want to come home. I said, why? She's like, I don't know, they just do. They call me, they want to come home. I said, okay. Now I'm all fucked up. I think it's the end of the night. I'm all fucked up. I put them in the car. I'm driving them home. And I was driving like, I guess my daughter was scared. And I dropped them off, and it was basically the last time I ever saw them. I don't know if I blocked it out of my head, or if I just, the fucking stroke fried my brain. I know it fried a lot of my brain. Drugs fried the rest of it, but I do know that I cried when my ex-wife told me, Anna saw you sniffing the pills. She goes, how do I tell her that? Why does dad sniff them and not take them? And I never got to answer that. And how would I? I would have lied anyway, and made up a story. But like, all I know is addiction can take your life over, no matter who you are. Is like they're right from the out to jail. Like it doesn't matter. And it sure didn't give a fuck who I was, because like it ate me up. And yeah, I held on for like the first 10 years was fun. I'm not gonna lie, it was fun. The last 12, I wouldn't wish on my worst enemy. Now that I've grown up a lot, it was hell, when the shit I did, drug dealing, and I'm not proud of. It's like, it's a hard pill to swallow when like it was you doing it. Um, but like I don't know. It's like, it's weird. Like I keep going. Like I am a member of AA, but like I'm not an alcoholic. Like alcohol is not my demon, but drugs is. And I thought, all right, I'm gonna get clean, and life's gonna be better. It was good. It did get better for me. I stopped selling. I told my doctor, I'm done. Fuck you. Like, I'm a drug addict. I just came out of a rehab. They had me down as bipolar. All this shit. They had me on all this fucking heavy meds, man. And like, I was crushing them up and sawing them too, because like you got fucked up from that. So like, who learns better than a drug dealer? Those are good, So I learned I can get Xanax, I can get this, I can get that, like Adderall, and like what's everybody doing now? Adderall, like I was like, wow, like, and like drugs aren't even drugs anymore. They're all pressed, they're not even real. Like, and like it people are dying from like so many. I shouldn't even be here. I overdosed. I flatlined for 90 seconds, and like for some reason I ask God all the time, why the fuck did you bring me back?
When was this?
I overdosed. So I got clean at 10 on 10/2. I got clean. Well, 10/3 I got clean because I went into rehab all fucked up. So yeah. So September 20, or probably like September 24th, 25th, 2019, I overdosed. And I was flatlined in my buddy's apartment, 90 seconds. And I didn't see a light. I didn't see anything. So I'm like, I don't know about all that shit, but like I have a piece of paper said cardiac arrest, and then they fucking the flatline, and the doctor said, he came in the room, he's like, you have a good night? I was like, not really. I feel like somebody hit me in the chest with a fucking sledgehammer. He goes, yeah, that's what a defibrillator feels like. They had to bring you back. He's like, I told you, my sister didn't want my mother coming to see me in the hospital. My sister and her wife did. And my sister got clean a year before me. So my sister was like, and like, I was like, I kind of was nodding on and off out of it. And like, I woke up with my sister-in-law stroking my hair when I had some. Was like, she was rubbing my face, and she was crying. And I was like, hey, she's like, shaking her head, I'm like, she's like, how you feeling? I'm like, all right. I'm like, I'm a little sore, my chest. And the doctor came in. He's like, I told your sister to tell your mother to get you a plot or get you rehab because you're going to die. She's like, you're juiced to the gills. They go, I'm looking at a fucking, doctor called me a smurf. Yeah, I'm looking at a smurf who's 240 pounds, like 5% body fat. And I know you're juiced up to the gills. And you got so many, I had like 250 milligrams of oxycodone, 100 milligrams of Xanax, 100 milligrams of Ambien. I was like loaded up. And the doctor's like, you're even lucky to be here. I'm like, and my sister's like, you're coming home. You're going home, man. I'm like, no. Fucking bring me back to my apartment. I'm like, I'm not coming home. Meanwhile, at the time, I'm nervous because there was cops and firemen in my apartment. And I had a lot of fucking drugs in the apartment. I'm like, oh my God. And I went to the hospital because like the EMT guy goes like, you could come with me or you're gonna have to answer a wrong question. I'm like, yeah, well, I'm going with you. Like, fuck it. I'm like, but I'm wondering what's gonna happen when I get home. You know, it was like 2:30 in the morning too. I was like, what? All the cops coming in, and my buddy is like, we hit all the stuff. They knew what to do, you know, and I said, yeah, all right. I said, give me my dirties back and roll a bone. And they're like, what? I'm like, give me my dirties back. And it was like 2:30 in the morning. And we called the sub place that was open all night. And I got a sub. I smoked a couple dirties. I smoked a joint. And I went to bed. I'm like it was nothing. I'm like, I survived that, you know. I'm like, and I went even harder that week. I was like on a mission. Like I realize now that I was like trying to kill myself. I didn't want to like, but like I didn't give a fuck. I just didn't give a fuck anymore. And you know, when I went to rehab, I don't know what kicked in me, but like I was like, I'll play the rehab game for 7 days, and I'll be out, back on my feet, and I was like in rehab, and I was like, I'm not ready to leave because I'm like, if I go out that door, I'm dead. I knew it, and I don't know what happened in there, but I just know that on 10/3, I was so sick, but I was clean, and I used that as my sober day because like I haven't, you know, I'm no A role model. I speak at a bunch of like at detox centers and like I've spoken to kids in rehab places and shit. And I'm like, I'm no role model, man. Like I'm no A role model. Like you don't follow my steps because like, but I stayed clean, like off everything for like 6 months. Like I stopped gear. I stopped and like, I fell from like 240 pounds to like 185 pounds. Like it all went off. I'm like, walked into a gym. I'm like, looking in the mirror. I grabbed 20-pound dumbbells and they felt like 100-pound dumbbells. I started crying in the gym. I'm crying. And like, I just got up, went to the bathroom, got my bag, walked out. I was like, and they were like, what the fuck's wrong with Dillo? I'm like, I was crying. Like, I don't even know who the fuck I am anymore. Like, who the fuck are you? And I said, you got big ones. You know how to do it, you know? I said, yeah. Well, to myself, I'm like, I'm no A role model. I don't claim to be, but like, I can smoke a joint and not turn to coke or oxys or nothing. I just get baked and be happy being baked. And like, I used to smoke an ounce a day. I'm gonna get my smoking an ounce a month. And I'm not even like way off. Like, I'm good. Maybe 2 joints a day. Maybe 3 if it's if it's a fun day or doing something, or I'm at a concert or something. Like, and everyone says, "Well, you got to be sober." I'm like, yeah, you guys you guys get prescribed shit. Even though you're getting prescribed shit, you're still not clean. So like, I don't give a fuck what you say, because weed helps me. Because I would lose my shit. I'm short tempered. But zero patience. Like, since the stroke, zero patience. Like, yes, I know that, and like, I haven't hurt anybody for weed. I haven't stolen from anybody. Haven't put a gun to anybody's head. All shit that I did in my past. Like, I never thought I would have had to like drive around with a 9mm, like, because I was delivering pills. But that's not me. I don't fucking even like guns. But like, I own one. Like, and like, I still have it, but and even I even hate owning that, because like, sometimes when I get down, like 2 weeks ago, I was on the phone with you, and I was like, dude, I'm fucking so close to using. I was like, I was really, it was like my hands were getting like sweaty, and I was like, I haven't like urge to do that. And I went through a shoulder surgery and all that, and like, I didn't even take I was Tylenol, Tylenol. I didn't even take a perk for that. I'm like, no way, man. I'm no way, because I'm like, well, you're not really breaking it if you follow it. Well, my girlfriend's like, I'll give you it every 4 hours. And you can't give it to me, because I'm gonna go do it. I'm gonna find
it hits your system.
Yeah,
Right back.
You're talking to a drug addict, man. Like, you're gonna hit a switch, and like, I know other people I can get it from. I mean, you're not helping me. And I'm like, I can't do it. And I went through the whole surgery with no perks. And like, it sucked big time, but like, I still had no perks. And like, one of my first year clean, I had, my teeth went to hell. I got all new teeth, and like, I went through that surgery, and I had like 20 teeth taken out, and like, they did it all in one day. And like, I was walking out of there with teeth. I was like all fucked up on the like medicine they give you, and I'm like, I'm a stallion. So like, I was like, I had a beautiful smile again. I was afraid to smile, and I'm like, I want stallion. It's like, the nurses were laughing their ass up. Like, they're walking me out to the counter. No, one of the ladies was like laughing, and I was like, fucking, I'm a stallion. And I was like so excited. And I didn't even care about the pain, because I was like just smiling. I'm like, I got teeth, and I was just like so happy. And like, and like, that was another relationship that I was totally honest with this one about everything. I got deep with this one, and I was with her for a year, and she ends up making up a fucking bullshit story. And during COVID, I went to prison.
This story ends today, but yours is still waiting to be told. You're not alone in this walk in life. If this hits you, share it with someone that needs it. And don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss what's coming next. Find me at Brad B. Rowe at Instagram. And if you're ready to step into the front row of your life, whether it be the fellowship, the foundry, coaching, or support the ministry, you can find it all at frontrow.co. I'll see you next week.